Ah, you son of a bitch. Did I even make it public? I don't think I made it public. Oh, I think I did make it public. I don't know why the video camera doesn't work on my iPad. I just don't know why that is. If anybody sees this, I don't think I made it public. No, I didn't make it. Oh, I did make it public. Somebody's there. That's not good. So now what do we do? Do we stay going live, or do we end this and go on the I think we're going to end this and go on the laptop. Although I'm sick as a dog. There's nothing to see. Maybe we just do the old-fashioned nobody watches the old-fashioned radio show. I know there's no picture. No shit. Listen, I'm sick. I'm in a bad mood. Leave me alone. I don't know. I got like a sinus thing. I got like a thing. I have a headache. My nose is running. A little bit of a fever. I guess COVID's still a thing, right? You can still get that. So maybe it's that. All right, listen. This is what I'm gonna. Nah, fuck it. We'll just keep doing it this way. We'll just keep doing it this way. Oh, I don't know if I have bronchitis. Oh, I hope not. Yeah, I'll talk about the Charlie Kirk thing in a second. I got a whole thing. That's the reason why I popped on here. Tell you the truth. I don't like to talk politics because it pisses people off. Matter of fact, most people, believe it or not, they come to the internet to get away from the news. So, what I'm doing, today, I'm going to tell you about my last few days. I haven't gone live in a real long time. I apologize about that. I got called up to the Catskills, and it was very, very, very extremely last minute. And I am a fan of the Opie and Anthony show. I'm a big fan of radio. I'm also a big fan of Howard Stern. I love Don and Mike, and I just love that old shock jock days of radio. And I was invited up to the Catskills to do this podcast with this woman, Chrissy Mayer, who I've done her podcast 2 times. I know she has like a right-wing podcast, right? But I've never listened to it. I don't listen to podcasts. I also got to let you guys know I don't lean. I would say I probably lean. I'm more liberal in my views, but I don't agree with either party. Like I think gay people should get married. I think abortion's a woman's choice, right? But I don't vote for Democrats, and I don't vote for Republicans. And the reason being is if you live in this city, nobody in their right mind could vote for a Democrat. It doesn't make sense. If you go down Kensington Ave, it's been that way for 20 years. And they're doing good. I don't know why they do crazy things. I find the liberal politics somewhat crazy. Saying that, I feel like the Supreme Court might be a little compromised. I feel, things are happening. The Republican Party. I used to be a Republican. I left the Republican Party back in 2006 when I found out that the weapons of mass destruction weren't a thing. But before that, I was a Fox News, Rush Limbaugh, right-wing, Sean Hannity hack. I was all into that stuff. And then I realized they were liars. So then I went with the other guys. And then around 20, whenever, they screwed Bernie Sanders over. They threw that Hillary in. Nobody likes Hillary. And then they, the last election, nobody had a choice on who ran for the primary. They threw up Kamala. And to be honest with you, I don't like her as a human being. I didn't like either one of them as a human being. And I don't, I kind of wish politics was a little bit more respectful than it was a few years ago. But one time, well, anyway, so I go to this right wing podcast thing, and the reason why I go there is because Anthony from Opie and Anthony, and I'll get to the chat. Let me just get this story off my chest, and then I'll talk about Charlie Kirk. I also want to talk about 9/11. As a matter of fact, I'm going to talk about it right now. We're coming up on the anniversary of 9/11 in just about 12 hours. And I don't know if you guys remember America after 9/11, but fuck, man, we were so together as a country. We were so united. Everybody flew a flag in their house. They ran out of flags in the United States of America, right? They run out of flags. Newspapers start printing paper flags, and people are I'm getting goosebumps. You can't see it, but I'm getting goosebumps telling you this story. People tape the newspaper flags to their windows, and people just have so much American pride in this country. It's something, it makes me, I feel pride telling you that right now. And I was thinking about that when I was at this podcast thing. I was there mostly to see this podcast. Who are they? Who are these podcasts? Which is like a comedy show. And I didn't know, it was like a bunch of different, most of them were like right-wing commentators. And I got there in the middle of the day. I unpacked my bags, and we eat dinner. And then after dinner, people were playing poker, people were hanging in this room. And then I noticed that there's this one dude standing there in the corner. And he's not laughing. He's like, real serious and shit. And I go up to him and I'm like, yo man, what do you do for this podcast? What's your story? What do you do? I don't know any of these people. I'm just trying to make friends. I hung out with this comedian, Gino Bisconte, who used to do a podcast with Artie Lang. And even though, I feel like Gino's a very angry person. I felt all of them were very angry. They're just angry people. Everybody's angry. I talked about that in one of my last vlogs. Everybody's angry. And so anyway, I go up to this guy in the corner, the quiet guy, and I'm thinking he's part of the podcast. I'm thinking he's like a tech guy or a lighting guy. They had this really elaborate setup. And so I go, hey man, how you doing? My name's John. People call me the Philly Captain. What's your name? What's your story, dude? What's going on? And he told me that he was private security hired by talent for protection. And I went, what? He goes, yeah, I'm hired to protect you guys. I'm your added security. Plus there's security for the hotel. And that seemed a little, I don't know. It just seemed a lot. For as little as people there were at the place, there was a lot of security. And I went, well, what's going on, bud? Are we okay? And I said to the one guy running the thing, I said, yo, man, we okay? What's going on? He goes, sometimes we just want to be safe. And then you have what happened to Charlie Kirk today. And now I wonder, I wonder if there was a threat at that place, because I do know that there were some incidents where security did kick people out, and it's scary. It's scary. The world today is scary. A lot of people are angry, and when I was at the podcast place hanging out with the majority. I think I would say I was the only person who wasn't a MAGA person there. I did tell the one guy running it. He was like, because they found that, I think one of them, I told them that Barack Obama produced my movie, and I thought a few people knew that. And the movie's not political. It doesn't talk about anything politics. So I don't care that his name's associated with it whatsoever. That's just me. That I would probably say if George W. Bush, even though he's the reason I left the Republican Party, I would say if he was the producer of the movie, I would say I would be proud to say that guy's the producer of my movie too, even though he did lie about weapons of mass destruction. But anyway, I think now, after what happened to Charlie Kirk, I wonder if there was even more of a heightened risk at that event. I didn't stay very long. I have a crazy, like a sinus infection that has been brewing in me, I feel, for like a few days. And I'm watching other podcasts talk about the podcast that I was at. And apparently the hotel I was at was covered in mold. It was a little run down. It was a little old. I get a kick out of that stuff, though. People find that shit tacky. I mean, it is tacky, but I like it. So, anyway. I feel like everybody's in their own bubble and they won't talk to people who don't agree with them politically. It's even more, your political party these days mean more than your religion to most people. And honestly, I feel like some people who don't have religion in their life replace it with politics. It gives them something to cheer for, something to root for. And I don't know why. I don't know why anybody would root for any of these people. They don't, honestly, I don't feel like any of them give a fuck about it. I do think Bernie Sanders does. I like Bernie Sanders. I think he, I think he has a point. I think rich people should pay a little bit more. Just call me crazy. But, the Democratic Party shut him out. It's crazy. Anyway, so 9/11, we're on the anniversary. And I would say today was a political assassination, even though he wasn't a elected political figure. He was definitely a political figure to some. I mean, you see the size of that crowd? I was shocked about that. Like, how many people showed up for that? But it's a big deal. Politics is sports. That's why there's 24-hour news channels, because there's always shit going on. And he thanks, man. Yeah, so I'll tell you the truth. I would never watch a Charlie Kirk video. I hate those videos where people just disagree with each other. I think they're fucking stupid. Not that they're stupid. It's just like, you know he's going to win. You know he's going to win the debate. Who else does that? There's another guy, Jordan Peterson. I don't watch. Um, and then Christopher Hitchens. I actually used to watch Christopher Hitchens because he would get drunk during the debates. That was pretty entertaining. But yeah, no, I don't watch any of that political bullshit. And that's crazy. It's crazy. Uh, I was watching some of the news channels during, like, talking about his assassination. It's just crazy saying that word assassination, isn't it? Well, I don't know if you're saying it, but it's a weird word to say. But I was watching the live comments, like I'm watching the live comments um, right now, and a lot of the comments were saying war. A lot of the comments were saying civil war is coming. A lot of a lot of that, and I. I don't think it's going to come to that. I did for a while, a long time ago. I did think it was going to happen, but I think most people are like me, and we're kind of just like, I'm just kind of sick of it, and they don't do anything good, and I just wish politics wouldn't mean as much as it does. And I don't know. I just remember back when Reagan was president, I was a kid. Nobody gave a shit. But you know what the thing is? Reagan passed this law. I think it was in the late '80s or early '90s, where you could have talk radio lean or any political like lean a certain way over the radio. So I'm going to blame a little bit on Ronald Reagan today. I think that was the beginning of the divide because I don't remember people criticizing the president publicly on TV. I remember them mocking Bush and mocking Dan Quayle, but there was like actual talk shows where they would talk about. It was Rush Limbaugh. He would talk about Bill Clinton. I always thought Bill Clinton was the biggest phony because he would fake cry at funerals, and I hate when politicians fake cry. I saw Cory Booker give a speech one time, and I used to like Cory Booker. Then I saw him fake cry, and I was like, this motherfucker phony. They're all phony. Not Bernie! I'll tell you, that Bernie Sanders. It's nowhere close to 9/11. It's nowhere close to 9/11. I guess, well, will we remember where we were at when this happened? Probably because of the style it was, but no, it's nowhere near a 9/11. Yeah, well, I mean, I'm pissing off both sides, so I don't give a shit. I saw Talk Radio. It's a great movie. Howard Stern was supposed to star. Um, Howard Stern was supposed to be in that movie. Alan Berg. I think that's the disc jockey that was killed. I think. I don't know. Anyway, I'm just sad because I was thinking, honestly, and this is the honest to God's truth. I think if America was attacked today, I believe there would be a portion of Americans that would be happy that that happened because Trump is president right now. And that saddens me. People rather see him fail and watch the country go down the drain. And I was at a Biden rally back when he was still running for president, even though he was senile. Um, I blame a lot of this on Joe Biden too. So Reagan and Biden, I blame those guys. Um, but I remember I was at this protest, and there was this far left group that were protesting. I believe they were protesting the war on Israel, the Israel war with Palestine. I believe that's what the war was. And then there was Trump people, and they were protesting. And I felt like the pro-Palestine protesters just want to see America fail, just the way they were, just the shit they were saying. And and then I looked over at the Trump protesters, and they had their American flags, and I felt bad for them too. I don't know why. I was just like, it's a fucking Tuesday afternoon, and we're just standing here on the corner with all these flags, and I'm sitting here with my camera filming it, and so the world turns, I guess. No, sometimes you got to talk about the news when the news has happened, especially on September 11th or the eve of September 11th. And don't tell people to stick to talking to things when they want to talk about things. I feel like I want to talk about this shit, and I'm pretty honest about it when I go to protests and politics. I always tell you guys, like, I'm just showing you what's happening. Uh, yeah, oh, definitely. Yeah, by the way, let me just say this too. um, he's in the Epstein file, right? There's only 10 dozen pictures of him with Epstein. What are we doing? Why are we letting them protect that? It doesn't make any sense. Why would anybody protect that? It doesn't make any fucking sense. And how can anybody defend that? It doesn't make any sense to me. By the way, when I was at that hotel, I never heard anybody bring up the Epstein list. No, no, that's bullshit, Jay. People love that dude. I didn't realize. I don't know who he is, but he had a pretty big following, and they were there to yell at him. They were there to cheer him. You got to remember too, he was in Utah. Absolutely not. I don't want him to die. He has 2 children. I don't think anybody should die. Death is my least favorite thing. That's why I don't watch horror movies. The president? Yo, I don't know if that's a good idea for him. He went to the tennis match the other day. He didn't get a good response. I don't think it's going to look good on America booing the president on 9/11 in New York. Please, somebody in this PR group, let's take him somewhere else. Take him to somewhere where he'll get a good response. Not New York. He might get a good response I don't know. Maybe because it's 9/11. I just think people dislike him so much. Well, the Phillies are crushing it, huh? Yeah, I didn't go to the game last night. I was feeling kind of shitty, and then Speedball Mike Bailey, the AEW wrestler, was having a movie premiere, and it's a documentary film, and I think documentary films are important, especially since I was in one. But documentary movies are the only movies where you get to tell the real story about what happened and all this stuff. And so I like documentaries. Matter of fact, the only movies I really watch, even on Netflix, are documentaries. But I would say, so I went to Speedball's movie premiere. He's very nice. He let me vlog. He let me interview him afterwards. So I'll probably have that video up tomorrow. Um, what's tomorrow? Thursday. Shit. I hope I feel better tomorrow. But I got I'm going to be doing a radio show um, on Xfinity at Xfinity Live tomorrow, and oh, thank you, Scott. Um, yeah, I don't think I could. That drive I took home from the Catskills Mountains was was terrifying, and I think I'm done with really long car rides. I think the last car ride I want to do, I'll probably do it. Possibly, we'll see how I feel. I want to do Seaside Heights before everything shuts down for the season, which would like complete my boardwalk tour. I think there's a few other towns, but I want to go to the shore towns a little more. But the car is I fucked the car up when I went up to the mountains. Yeah, I think it's not running right. So Cheryl took it to the shop yesterday, and they said it might be the Cadillac converter or whatever the hell it's called. And we still have a warranty on the car, but I'm worried that the anyway, that's the thing. Um, yeah, yeah, you wouldn't. I don't think you would get that today, Tim, if something catastrophic happened. I don't know. I don't know. I feel like it just politics just got too ugly. Like I could never see a day where AOC and Marjorie Taylor Greene hold hands. I just never see a day. That's they're two opposites, and um, that's just me. Jack Fritz is in the documentary. Yeah, I don't think I ran over anything. Yes, I saw that, bud. Yes, I will boot him. I've done a fantastic scoot in DC 2 years ago with I went into the reflection pool with the scooter. Or was that last year? That might have been no. I went there with Adam the Woo. That was 2 years ago. I will not go to the nude beach. It just feels like the giddy up. The giddy up's missing in the car, and like you push down, it takes a second. I think I might need fuel injection cleaning. To tell you the truth. Truth. Yeah, it's the Cadillac converter. Uh oh. Yeah, just look up Philly Captain, Washington, D.C. If you ever want to see me go somewhere, before you type in, hey, Captain, why don't you go here? Type in Philly Captain and that location. Odds are I was there. Check engine did pop on, and then it popped off. Mike, how are you, bud? Phillies are winning. Eagles are in first place. You don't get paid for documentaries. No, the guy I got, the mechanic I went to said it's the Cadillac converter, but it's nothing, it's not, you don't need to do it right away, but it's going to be a problem. And then he said, we still have the warranty, but you can watch me buy the car from Carvana and see the headache that is. And I'm wondering, is it worth the headache to get the warranty to replace it? But I think it is. So we're gonna be doing that. Phillies are killing it. Ugh. Uh, yeah, I guess that's it, right? All right, Jay, we get the guy's dead. Let's be somewhat civil. I don't like watching people die. I don't watch those type of documentaries. Astoria, how are you? I love Luke. Yeah, I'm trying to think of what I watch is like usually showbiz documentaries. Johnny Carson, Bob Hope, Don Rickles. I watch like old time celebrities because when I was a kid at night, I would fall asleep to the Johnny Carson show. So that's uh that's how I do it. Yeah, John's is pretty good. David, you got to do me a favor, bud. You got to stop paying attention to your subscriber count on a daily basis. You're going to drive yourself buck crazy, kid. You got to, yeah, you're down 792. That's all right. If anybody could please subscribe to KDJW5, help my buddy out. You got to remember, Dave, it's not always sometimes people unsubscribing. You have people who lose YouTube, their account gets deleted. So people, don't be so hard on yourselves and don't worry about losing 3 subscribers. Just keep working to get your next 3 subscribers. All right, bud? Yeah, I saw the kid stays in the picture. That's great. Yeah, I saw the video. I know. I am going to use it. You don't understand the headache I'm going to go through. I have this thing where I don't do things to avoid headaches. It's a mental disorder. I forget what it's called, but anyway, I got this thing. I don't do things. I put them off. I avoid things. Oh, thank you, YouTuber. I predict Mahomes. Oh, we're playing the Chiefs. Yeah. Yeah, you can't live and die with every number, Dave. You got to remember too. Sometimes you're going to say shit that's going to piss people off, and they're gonna unsubscribe. That's all right. You'll get new ones. Go Birds. Yeah, no shit. We know we can't see you. Luke doesn't watch football. SEPTA is going to be back to normal on Sunday, which means it's really going to be back to normal on Monday. The SEPTA has to dip into this fund that they have. So I made a whole video about it. SEPTA's dipping into this fund. Um, it's an odd political play by the Senate Republicans because every other major city, the state funds the mass transit for the big cities. So it's kind of weird that they're like, you know, they're pitching pennies on bus rides, but that's okay. If SEPTA didn't get that money, well, they had that money, but I don't know what would happen if there's like something happens and SEPTA needs to cough up the money. They could go bankrupt now. Like it's a very slim chance, but it's a possibility now. But they have like, even with all the money they took out, I think they have all these other funds, and I think they have $700 million. So I think they got to think outside the box. I think they need to rein in some of the buses. Some of the buses might be running too frequently. Maybe you get rid of some buses on the weekends. You got to figure it out. They got to figure out the way. It was ridiculous that they really screwed the school kids. They had this thing start the day school started, and I think that was on purpose, but whatever. Oh, there's a curfew in. It's starting tonight. In it. First off, there's a new curfew where businesses have to close at 11 p.m. And I haven't gone down Kensington Ave that late in a while. But I swear to you, I don't think any of the convenience stores that are supposed to close. I think they get a fine if they're open. But apparently the city has now expanded the convenience stores shutting down early in like 5 different neighborhoods. And they say it's a safety issue. Food trucks, corner stores. The only thing that could stay open are gas stations and bars. And the bar thing doesn't make sense to me. And I think it's a restaurant that sells food. Probably mass air sensor. Oh, I saw that lady got shot. I saw that lady got shot. Yeah. The wrestling movie was pretty good. I'll make the video. You can see it. I know. I don't think anybody's going to watch it. uh, I still got to make it. It was like a Q&A from a thing. Speedball is a very nice guy. But in the movie, you get to see things that even that new WWE documentary had, that came out on Netflix. This goes even more. It shows you the things that you want to see. It shows you the things that like I always, when I first got into wrestling 5 years ago, I guess I could talk about it because it's in this movie. There's a meeting they have, and they go over the card, and they tell you who's going to win and who's going to lose. And then all the wrestlers break off into who's going to have a match that night, and then they do a match. And they talk about how the match is going to go. If I'm there, they'll talk about making me involved, and they'll give me a bunch of shit to do. And I say, listen, that's too much me. I'm just a manager. I want one thing to do. That's what I always say. So usually I just grab a leg or I do something. It's very rare for me not to. There was actually one match where I just managed. I didn't do anything because I think I was stoned. I was like, listen, I don't want to hurt anybody. Nobody's getting grabbed. So anyway, yeah. How do I feel about Psycho Stew? I feel like that was attempted murder. What is the name of the what doc? My documentary is called The Turnaround. My favorite comedian is Eddie Murphy. No, the Phillies do not sell any Galapagos gear merch. They had bobbleheads the first year, but they're I have them or little tiny figures. But even the guys who are in the guys don't have those guys. The fuck are you talking about Adam the Woo for? Thank you, David Washington. Uh, yeah, I don't think he, you know, you're not made of steel. Oh, the wrestling documentary. Well, listen, you wrote documentary. I thought you were talking about my documentary. The wrestling documentary I'm talking about is it's that new thing they had with Triple H showing John Cena how to be the bad guy. It's on Netflix. It's not the McMahon documentary. It's the behind the scenes. No, I forget what it's called though. Is the Kirk thing a hoax? No, he's dead. Yeah, I got to tell you the truth. I can't watch it on Netflix. I don't like the advertising in the ring. I'm sorry. It's just too much. It's too. I feel like it's too polished. Like I don't think wrestling should look like a what are they called? Those stupid superhero movies. They shouldn't look like an Avenger movie. It should look like wrestling. It's too pretty. Will they try to take our guns away? No, I don't think they will. Oh, I think the Nasty Boys, the one of them's doing real bad. Uh, Rick the Puppy's right here, laying next to me on the couch. Yeah, it's called Unreal. That's it, Mike. Thank you. I was waiting for somebody to say it. Yeah, Unreal. WWE Unreal. It's very good. It's very good. There's a little bit of what you get in the Mike Bailey documentary when you follow Rhea Ripley, where she talks about like doing this, and like working the match out, but they don't show the two wrestlers. It's really, and what Mike Bailey does is he talks to people from Japan and Mexico. It's pretty interesting. Oh wow, you're gonna go to WW. That must be such a big deal when they come to Australia because does that happen ever? I guess they have to do it once a year, right? Oh, I would hate to do that flight. Uh, the Jerry Jones documentary, the cinematographer from the Jerry Jones documentary was the cinematographer for my movie. I would love to scoot the Outback, but I don't think I could take my scooter to uh, on an airplane. I don't think the Phillies are going to sign Schwarber next year. I don't. I don't. I'm very nervous about that. I don't really like female wrestling too much. I feel like when I grew up uh, in the 80s, female wrestling was bad. And then in the diva times, it was really, really bad. So I never really watched female wrestling. That's when I always went out back and smoked a joint. I guess I enjoy shit. I'm trying to think of I don't know, man. I don't have one. I don't have one. All right, I put him back in timeout. You can't write in all caps like that. He's back in timeout for 5 minutes. I hope Turner gets back. I guess I liked Lita. Steve the Legend, how are you, buddy? Yeah, if you're gonna talk, don't write in all caps about being back. Just come back, be back, and be normal. And honestly, I don't remember even. There's no way. I might put you in timeout, but if you don't hear me say the hammer, you're not blocked. You're good. Don't worry. All right, Jaybird. All right, now you're going to go in timeout now too, because you keep talking, you keep repeating yourself. We're going to put you in timeout for 30 minutes. Yeah, Bader's been pretty good. Yeah, we did the Charlie Kirk talk earlier. I'm a little nervous about the Phillies bullpen. Like, I don't know how. I just don't know what we do. Uh, Game 2 of a playoff series. Like, it's just. Maybe it could be the year. He wasn't. I mean, he wasn't. Well, Castellanos doesn't. He has a year left on his contract, but I do feel like they're sick of him. I don't know why. Oh, you got a cameo from me? Thank you. I appreciate that. Yeah, Nola being healthy will be the key. And, you know, this team gets streaky. Let's just hope we don't get streaky. And if we do get streaky, it's a hot streak. Yeah, I gotta figure out what the hell's wrong with the iPad, why it doesn't live stream, but. Yeah, Noah just signed a 6-year contract. That's disrespectful. That's not nice. Mm. Oh, we got it. Yeah, that's just cruel. We're gonna put you in time. No, I'm gonna block you. Hammer time. Bam. There you go. I haven't been mentioned. I haven't been doing the trash videos. The bike has a flat tire. I have to take. I have to take it to the shop. Yeah, I think Luke gets a discount. He works there. Yeah, the employees get a discount. Of course they do. Let's go. It's not a properly run mall. That's why it's going to be. Um, that mall is not long for this earth. What's the furthest? I driven it to the stadium. That's 10. That's 10. I went to Manayunk with it. Philadelphia is a pretty small city. I've driven it all around the city. West Philly. Um, I wanted to take. I want to take it to Valley Forge. I want to go to New Hope. They're going to be banned. The electric bikes and the electric scooters. They're going to be banned um, within the next 10 years. They're already passing helmet laws. Some townships in Pennsylvania, you can't ride them if you're under a certain age. So just it's that they're not going to be long for this world. Yeah, I didn't realize how small the city was until I started exploring the city on bike. Because if you don't stop at the red lights like I do, it's you can get from Port Richmond to Manayunk about 25 minutes on Allegheny Avenue. Who goes to the malls these? Nobody. That's why. Uh, that's why they're all dying. Oh, the Philly Karen lady. I think. I think she's. I think it's over. I think it's over. I think. Um, she's been mocked all over the world for about 2 or 3 days. The kid got a bat from Bader. Um, they're all over the news. They're doing all the interviews. And I think her crime, she has paid her time. I think we should let her. But it's never going to go away, unfortunately. But I do feel. Um, Not that I feel like it's sympathy. I don't feel sympathy for her. I feel like it's enough. I respect Zach Campbell now. I've never done Smithville. I have tried Joey's cheesesteaks. I respect Zach Campbell now. I think Zach Campbell is a hard worker. I think um, I think he's slightly autistic. I think that's his thing. And I wish, you know, it's. I get why people don't like him. Um, me and him have a up and down relationship, but I think he was very nice to me when I needed to talk to him about when my documentary was coming out. Zach has a documentary that was out, and I asked him some advice about movie studio stuff, and Zach was very kind and gracious and gave me some nice advice. We talked for about 20 minutes, um, and he's very nice to Luke. He's very nice to kids. I do get why people would get annoyed with him, but yeah, man, he's just trying to catch balls. And I'm so glad you guys aren't watching. And he did sneak into the military game. There are things that he does, but whatever. I definitely think she dyed her hair black. Yeah, that was a blowing of the nose. Huh. Well, I mean, don't you want your parks fenced off with the soccer ball goes out of the park? Ugh. Oh, nobody's watching this. Oh, who gave me the super chat? Thank you for the super chats. Oh, how horrible of me to not recognize the super chats. Yeah, I feel like shit. It's okay. Thank you. Todd wanted me to go to the game today because I didn't go to the game yesterday, and I was like, I have a headache. Matter of fact, they started like kicking my ass halfway through the movie, and I was like, you know what? I'm gonna fucking leave this movie. Seasonal depression tips, yeah. Go out, don't stay in. Go to places. I go to malls. Malls keep me happy. Vitamin D. Uh, would I ever work for John Boy Media? Probably not because they're out of New York. I'm at a point now where um, I don't want to work for anybody. Where if you asked me a year ago, my whole goal was to get a job with media. I sort of do stuff with iHeartRadio. I had a gig with Alt 1045, and you know, it is what it is. Uh, but I realized about um, 2 weeks ago, I contributed, I think, 3 or 4 lead news stories to Philadelphia News this year. The shooting at the Super Bowl thing. Somebody took my footage from the Super Bowl parade. Oh, the Wanamaker Eagle, the Wanamaker closing down. That was a story. And then the CBS Philly used my SEPTA footage. Um, the Skrilla shooting, the Skrilla getting arrested. That was a story. And I realized, like, I'm actually out there, like, once a month I'm getting a lead news story for the local news. And and then I'm not in a feud with Tony Bruno. Tony Bruno for some reason won't, well, he actually stopped recently. But for a few days he just kept like tweeting at me. He's a goofball. So I keep joking around how he's a nobody and I'm the new media. But I think I'm gonna go with that. That I'm the new media. That's what I am. I supply news stories, and occasionally I walk my dog. Yeah, no, I have people that sell. I work with a company. They sell the news stories for me. I usually there's a what the hell are they called? I forget. There's a place called Viral Story, and they take it. I know a lot of hip hop pages, and they stole the Skrilla thing, and there's nothing I can do about it. I mean, I could put my watermark on it. I don't care. I don't care. I care, but I don't care. It used to really egg me, but it doesn't. It doesn't. It is what it is. The way I feel about it is I'm filming content that's so good other people steal it. Yeah. But yeah, about a year ago, I wanted to get a job in like radio, and I thought, well, I was doing all this stuff for Q102, and but everybody I know, everybody who I knew that was in management got fired. So I was like, fuck. So then I'm like, well, I could do other things, or maybe work for. I was like, maybe I could work for the Flyers or the Wings and do something with them and their social media. And then I realized I could just keep doing my own thing and work for myself and just wear flip flops all the time. And that's what I'm probably going to do. Yeah, have I talked about that? Yeah, face paint guy's on the MLB commercial with Tatis. He um he got in trouble that day. They were filming that because they told him to heckle Tatis, and Jamie was saying some hurtful shit, and they were like, yo, calm down, not for real. Yes, the mascots do talk to me. Uh, there's only one of them. The guy who was the Barbara Bear. Maybe Calvin. No, I don't think Calvin does. But the Barbara Bear guy will say, Cat, come here, I'm going to do this. Yeah, I was at the Comcast Center. I have a Philly Fanatic tattoo on my leg. Yeah, I have the Philly Fanatic tattooed on the back of my calf. Um, they mocked Reagan. What? I talked to the Philly Fanatic is the worst out of all the mascots. He's the most talkative one, and I don't know who the hell Winston is, but Winston used to be Iggy, and now Iggy's not Winston, and I don't know who Winston or Gritty is. I don't know who any of the other. I know all the Philly mascots. Yes, I get scared once in a while looking over the railing at 301. Not all the time. I'm very used to it. There's also a piece of pavement underneath where I stand. Um, so if I fell, I would land there, and I'd probably break a leg. I can't. The camera's broken on the iPad. It's yeah. Just look up the Xfinity Mobile Arena. I also interview the artist Perry Shale in that vlog. That was fun. I did that. I'm going to try to do that a little bit more. I'm going to try to interview some people. My next interview coming up, I think it's going to be at Citizens Bank Park. Should be interesting. Thank you, Yasmin. Yeah, well, no, I don't think so. I don't know what the fuck's wrong with the camera. Oh, you'll be there tomorrow? I'll be there. Kepler hit a home run? Wow, we're smoking these guys. Yo, Luke called a sweep, too. Well, this is destructive for the Mets. This is really hurting their. The mayor puts ketchup and mustard on her hot dog. Most politicians put ketchup and mustard on their hot dog. Yeah, Kepler's turned around. All right. We get it, right? Phillies are winning, Mets are losing. I didn't put out a video today. I feel kind of odd. I didn't even edit, even though I filmed stuff. You ever have a fever behind your eyes, like your eyes are hot? It's just too hot to. No, I've never seen him. I watched. What did I watch today? I watched. I watched the Charlie Kirk news, and then I watched the um, Poland. Poland's at war with Russia, it seems. So get ready. See, it's bad when I lay in bed all day and watch TV because then I watch news because I get sick of. So what I usually watch are comedians talking about other comedians. Then I spent the weekend in the Catskills with the comedians, and I was like, "Good Lord, comedians are fucking angry." Yeah, I can't take time off. Yeah, I can't do that. Yeah, I wish I could read his books. His books are so fucking long, Mike. He came out with a book with Obama, and I was thinking about getting that, and then I was like, ah. Yeah. Yeah, it's tough. I can't sit there and just look at a book and read. It takes me for. I honestly, I don't. The only book I ever read cover to cover as an adult, I think, are probably the Howard Stern books. Um, I read 100 pages of Steve Martin's autobiography one day at the Atlantic. I just got focused and boom, I read so much of that book. Haven't picked it up since. Yeah, that's not reading though. Yeah, I cheated all through school when it came to book reports. I would always do book reports on movies. I would buy scholastic books and about movies. So I would write book reports about Ferris Bueller's Day Off and shit like that. I don't know how I got away with it, but I did. I'll have to check it out. Yeah, if I would read, I wouldn't read a Harry Potter book. I think I would read. I would be an autobiography. My friend wants me to go to the Whiteout game, but I don't. I don't think I can. I gotta do something with the kid. I will go. No, I always liked. I always liked social studies and history. I always loved that. I find that stuff interesting. I was part of a sixth grade social studies club, and I was at school. This was like 88, 89, and it was the anniversary. I guess it would be the 25th anniversary of JFK's assassination. And I went to school early to go to this club to talk about social studies and politics. And I made a JFK joke, and I made my teacher cry, and she kicked me out of the social studies club. I wish I remembered what the joke was, but it definitely wasn't anything worth crying over. Unless your last name was Kennedy, and I'm pretty sure Miss Spiegel wasn't related to Miss Kennedy. Definitely made that bitch cry. I was one of my. I was like, I'm part of the club. And then I remember one day, my French teacher and the social studies teacher, the French teacher was crying because she woke up one day and the guy wasn't there. And she couldn't stop crying. She couldn't teach class, but she was crying. And yeah, just the crazy things you remember. So, like, the last time I ever took an English test was probably ninth grade. And then the rest of the school year, I just cheated. Yeah, yeah, I was still with the baseball team after I had to walk home. My next door neighbor was my coach. So, yeah. Matter of fact, to this day, I still see his wife. Yeah, Mike's a history dork. All right, 9:30 is enough. We did it. Um, Not happy 9/11. I don't want to say happy 9/11, but I want you guys, if you were alive during 9/11, which I think most of you were, and if you have a memory, I want you guys to think about how united this country was 24 years ago. And honestly, before 9/11, there was a little political divide, but it wasn't what it is today. It isn't as crazy and angry and as divisive as it is today. It's out of control. And I don't think we can put the toothpaste back in the tube. I think we are now at the level where we just hate each other now, where people just hate each other. And it's very, very sad. Um, and I wish somehow we come back together as a country, but I don't think that's possible. Maybe I'm wrong. I hope I'm wrong, but I I don't think there's going to be a crazy civil war or anything like that. Because I honestly, if there is a civil war, I'm not fighting for either one of the goddamn sides because I don't agree with either of them enough to kill another human being that lives in my country. So I'll probably I don't know. I'll probably go to the Catskills. There's a lot of land out there. Yeah. Oh, I don't, Mike. The thing is, buddy, everybody's in their own bubble today. Everybody's in their own bubble, and it's hard to penetrate people in a bubble. It's kind of getting culty with the politics. And I know a lot of people joke about MAGA people and it being a cult because honestly, it's kind of culty. But the people on the left, the people on the far left that I see at these protests, that I see uh, in the city, I don't know. It's very culty. It's very culty. It's very. If you don't agree with me, you're the enemy, and that's from both sides. And I I I don't like that. I wish um, it's just very divisive, and most of the issues people argue about are issues that you don't usually have to face in your day to day life, but it's still issues we argue about. Silly. It's silly, Rick the puppy. Yeah. Yeah, I wouldn't last long. I wouldn't last long. But I do notice that there's an anger when I'm walking the streets of Philadelphia. There is definitely an anger out there, and there's anger towards cops that you openly see, and there's disrespect to cops. And listen, I know that cops aren't perfect by any means, but sometimes I see people so disrespectful to cops that I'm like, there has to be respect in this world, and we have to respect one another. And know what people I hate. So I lay in bed and I'm sick and I'm watching the thing. There's these First Amendment people, and I guess they're right, right? But what they do is they film. They go around filming, and then they get cops to yell at them, and then they the cop like punches them, and then he sues the cop for $50 million. and then the cop gets fired because the cop shouldn't have done that. But those guys are assholes. I hate those guys. Rick the puppy is licking his ass right now. Yeah. Always respect the mascot. Yes, I think Trey Turner. Listen, no. I don't want you to think that I'm supporting the blue because I'm not. I'm just one of these guys. I don't think there's not like cops are people. I have two brothers who are cops. That's why I know cops aren't perfect. I people who think cops are perfect are crazy too, I think. But everybody needs respect. I think, except for asshole security guards at Citizens Bank Park, I think they deserve disrespect. Oh. Yeah. I mean, you support the blue? I mean, that's a weird thing to support, man. Like, supporting cops, I get that. But, like, I don't know. It just feels like you guys, I just feel like you think cops are right 100% of the time, and they're not. They're just not. They're just not. They're very flawed. They're very flawed human beings. Right. Yeah. I'll say hi to cops, but they still give us tickets. Yeah, I Christ, half of my family. I got people in New York in my family. They're cops, but yeah, yeah. Uh, Ninth inning begins. Todd, I think the Phillies are going to win today. No tarantula tonight. No, the one guy won't do anything on social media. The other guy's been in my videos, yeah. I think all my brothers have been in there except for the one. Where is my support on the firefight? I don't support firefighters. I don't like firefighters. I think you can't see it. I'm joking. Who doesn't like firefighters? Yeah, Dr. Oz is a goofball. I agree with you on that. Dr. Oz, I don't know. I haven't seen him in the state of Pennsylvania since he's lost that Senate race. Your tattoo is the dumbest thing in the planet Earth. That damn right it's been in the videos. He has Bryce Harper is my daddy, Maxie is my daddy, and he has Maxie spelt wrong. I forgot about that. Yeah, Jesus Christ. Yeah, your tattoo's insane. One more, we're singing. Let's go. All right, we get it. The Phillies win, and we're all dead. I'll talk to you later.